大家好，欢迎来到一言汉语课堂，我是刘老师。Welcome to EChinese practical video course. I'm Teacher Liu. This is our very first class. You will get 3 lessons for free. And we will start with the basic concept of language in the first 2 lessons. And then I'm going to help you learn some very useful vocabulary by role-playing. I want to figure out a new way for you to embrace Chinese as a positive and exciting part of your life. Check it out, see if you like the style. These 3 lessons are recorded, but our formal course is a teacher-student interaction course. I will correct each student's pronunciation, and you will find learn Chinese by communicating with a native speaker is so helpful. You will suddenly see you can communicate in Chinese. Wouldn't that be fun? I will give you confidence to feel good talk to Chinese people even though you maybe don't have enough words or you don't know Chinese culture background and the ways to say very specific things that you may need it, but you will know your pronunciation is perfect and you can stand tall. So, what's our first step? The first step is probably the hardest step, I think. We are going to figure out some very important questions about Chinese language. The first question is, what is the Chinese language? As we know, China has 56 ethnic groups, and more than 90% are Han people, and the rest are 55 minority, like the Tibetan, the Uyghur, and the Mongol, etc. Most of them have their own languages. The languages of the main ethnic group Han is what we call Chinese language. The second question is, do different regions of the Han people speak the same Chinese? Unfortunately, the answer is no. Chinese language in different regions have different pronunciation, vocabulary, and grammar, especially in pronunciation. So, there are many dialects in Chinese language. For example, the word hello in Beijing dialect is 你好,你好. In Shanghai dialect is 侬好. In Guangdong dialect, which is also called Cantonese, is 你好. As you can see, it is very hard even for Chinese people to communicate with each other if they only speak in dialects. Therefore, a national standard Chinese language is needed, which is Mandarin. We call it 普通话,普通话 in Chinese. It is also the official language of China. So, Mandarin is exactly what we are going to learn. The third question is, what are the Chinese character and Chinese pinyin? The Chinese character is writing system to record Chinese. Chinese pinyin is phonetic system to record the pronunciation of Chinese. If you want to read Chinese books, newspapers, and magazines, then you have to learn Chinese characters. Learning pinyin will benefit you in many ways. It shows you the proper ways to pronounce a word. It also allows you to pronounce a word you have never seen. If you like to type Chinese on your phone or computer, pinyin is the easiest and most popular way. So I strongly suggest you put enough effort and time to learn and to practice Chinese pinyin when you start to learn Chinese. Since we had mentioned pinyin, I will give you an introduction to the pinyin system. A complete syllable in pinyin is usually made of initials, which are consonants, and the finals, which are vowels, and lastly, a tone mark. Sometimes a vowel by itself can make a syllable. For example, o Now let's see two Chinese characters. 你好. It means hello. The character can now tell you how to pronounce them. So you have to learn pinyin to help you read out the character. Pinyin is extremely important for your future learning, especially for the listening and speaking. Let's see the pinyin of 你好. One initial, one final, and one tone. And the tone is always on the top of the final. So here the n, h are initials. I, ao are finals. And above the finals, there are the third tone. In Chinese, there are 21 initials and 36 finals. Chinese tones are a huge important part of Chinese pronunciation. I had heard many foreigners over the years say things like, "Oh, I will just focus on the pronunciation because after all, the tone it doesn't important in context." Big mistake. It would like you speak in English in very thick accent. Others can't quite get everything you say, or get what you say but quite confused about what you are exactly trying to express. For example, let's take a look at the slogan. This slogan is the government put up in order to remind people wear masks when go out after coronavirus outbreak. I have changed the original sentence of the slogan a little bit, so let's see what it means. If you dare try to go out without a mask, disrespect the scientific facts, you will die. In Mandarin, there are 4 tones, and they are named by number 1, 2, 3, 4. There is 3 words in Chinese which pinyin looks like the same, but they have the different tones. The meaning is totally different. Let's learn the 3 words one by one. The first word, 试试. The first character is the fourth tone, 是, 是, 是. The second character is not one of the 4 tones, but it's also not a new one. It is a changed tone, what we call neutral tone. There is no tone marks above it. It's short and weak. 是, 是, 试试, 试试. The second word, 是时. The first character is fourth tone, 是. The second character is the second tone, 时. So together, 是时, 是时. It is fact. The third word, 是是. The first character is fourth tone, while the second character is also the fourth tone. So they are together, 是是, 是是. It means die. You see, what a huge different meaning if you use the different tone.